Hello. 7:01. Ooh, just made it. So close. So close. There we go. Look at me. I'm inside today. I'm inside. Um, it's kind of funny. I want to share something, but I want to wait till more folks are here because I think you're going to get a kick out of it. So let me get myself comfortable here, and I hope you get yourself comfortable too. I realized I'm sitting on a pillow. There we go. German made 95. There we go. See, look at me. Back on the schedule again. Cat Mama and Abbott Elementary. I can tell the people who know the schedule. That's awesome. Oh, that's what I was looking for. I was looking for a sun. Yeah. Yay. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. And for those of you who have been before, and if you want to start your decluttering engines, go for it. You're not going to see much that's going to change on the calendar here or the screen here. And everything I say, hopefully you can, as long as you can hear me, you can declutter while we're hanging out. If you have a question, you can always pop it in the comments, as you know. Sorry, I got a smudge on my glasses here. Hold on. Or maybe it's on my eyeball. But yeah, I love these times together. I was just talking, time for timer, I was talking about scheduling and timing with a client, and having control of your time is such a power. And if you are giving your time away to things that don't matter to you, take back the power, okay? So here's a funny thing. Okay, we've got enough people showing up that I thought this might be a bit of a Gen X moment. I don't know. So I have this memory of when I was in like grade school. I think it must have been like 5th grade, 6th grade, when I was old enough to like walk downtown with my friends on the weekend, like on a Saturday, and go to the different shops. I know this sounds like the Stone Ages, if there's any like millennials or Gen Zers here. I love it. TikTok live task says Abbott Elementary, finish donation bag for 8 o'clock pickup. Rock on. Anybody else have a decluttering task you want to share? Put it in the comments. What do you want to get done by 8 o'clock this morning? What could you get done? What could you get done decluttering wise? And this is one of the things I want to offer. Let me help you with this. Because this is why I show up. I'm a decluttering life coach. My name is Beth, Destination Decluttered. I show up to help you get stuff done declutter wise. And one of the things that's going to help is to realize that there are 3 levels of clutter: surface, stored, sentimental. When somebody is talking at you, everybody's talking at me, I can't hear a word they're saying. Hopefully you'll hear my words because they're good. There's meat on them bones, Jay. There's good meat on that, Jay. Surface clutter is something that is wonderful to work on while you're listening to one of my TikTok lives. And I say this because you already know the surface clutter stuff, where it is and where it should go. The surface clutter is the stuff that's on the surface, and it's just not where it's supposed to be. Now, if you don't know where it's supposed to go, that is more stored clutter. So don't worry about that stuff. But there is tons of stuff that you could do between now and 8 o'clock. It doesn't need to take all that time, though. You could do this. Abbott Elementary is finishing a donation bag for an 8 o'clock pickup. Having an external boundary on the time, having an external deadline or a destination, as it were. Deadline has the word dead in it. It's so weird. I got to look up the etymology of that. Listen to me. I must have had some tea. I'm saying some fancy words. It doesn't need to take up all that time, but think about this. Look into the future, and not like the Jetsons jetpack future. Look at 8 o'clock this morning. What's going to make you feel good doing something declutter-wise or otherwise between now and 8? Now notice I ask you that question, and there are a bunch of people on here, so everybody's going to have their own answer. Pause to listen to your answer. So between now and 8, what's there something I could do? It's going to make me feel good about what I did while I was also having fun listening to this TikTok live. Notice I said the word fun. I want it to be fun. I want you to feel good about what you're doing and how you're doing it. And here's a couple of things. I know if I were not doing this TikTok live, I can't do a TikTok live and also do some decluttering. But if I were on the flip side, if I was listening to somebody who was just kind of chatting with, it's early morning, we've got our tea or coffee, and I'm in my casual pajamas and you're puttering around and doing your stuff, I would look to the following. I would be putting clean laundry back where it belongs, either hanging it in the closet or putting it in the drawers. I would be taking dirty laundry and maybe throwing a load of laundry in the washer. I would then maybe be taking, I got some clean laundry, I need to put it in the dryer, and I would start the dryer. I would then, and a lot of this decluttering stuff is the stuff that's in cycle in your home. KB7029, I'll help you with that in just a sec. Okay, Tiggle Me is saying, I've got so much to do. We all do, but you have motivated me. What I want you to think of, though, we've got a lot of miles ahead of us in the road, but starting and feeling good about what you're doing and how you're doing it is a game changer. Okay? So a lot of the surface clutter stuff that you have is the stuff that is part of your everyday cycles. Now, it's funny because when I say a cycle, notice how my hand goes kind of in a round movement, okay? I think about this. Your washing machine, you've got the thing that goes flippy, 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 and it springs the water. You've got your dishwasher that's got the same thing. Actually, I said dishwasher. I was picturing dishwasher. Dishwasher, things that are in a cycle. Things that when you come in the house, you maybe dump your stuff in a certain place, and then you don't come back to it. So notice the things that are evidence, are kind of clutter, everyday clutter, surface clutter. And during the time that we are hanging out together, if you choose to, you could work on that. I don't require it. I love this. I don't really care. But I'm just offering to you that you have time, that you will not lose anything by not just sitting here. It's not like I'm writing something on a whiteboard and you've got to take notes. You can just listen to me as I chatter along with you while you're also puttering and decluttering. And just think, at 8 o'clock this morning, you could be getting some good stuff done, okay? But let me help you with this. So Tiggle Me says, I've got so much to do, but you motivate me. Good stuff. What I want to do is notice this, okay? One of the tools in your toolkit. Let me back up just a little bit because I'm always like, I want to do this. I'm going to calm down my nervous system. I'm going to slow down. I recommend you do the same. Notice that there are certain words in your head that are going to make you feel a feeling. Now, I've got so much to do could to me sound like overwhelm. I've got so much to do. Sometimes, usually that's followed with, and I don't know where to start, but I love it that Tiggle Me One says, but you have motivated me. Good, because you know what I hope my motivation has done? Has encouraged you to say, I can do this, I can start. Really, it's all about starting, people. Really, 99% of what we do to get today is to encourage you to get moving and get moving in the direction that you want. So thinking of it's so much, but notice you can counteract that, but you have motivated me. When you feel motivated, you're more likely to get started, to do something, to take action, to move your body and to move some of your stuff. Now, within the confines of our time today, I highly recommend just going through your surface clutter. Laundry, dishes, stuff that you got back from the Acme or Gateway or whatever. The other 2 layers of clutter are things that you are best done with yourself because you need to hear yourself think about what is this, do I need it or not? It's really hard to have a conversation with yourself of any value when somebody's chattering with you, okay? That's your stored clutter and your sentimental clutter. But so it's wonderful to know that I've motivated you. And please notice that you're going to have words in your head that make you feel like you shouldn't even get started. Like KB7029, I promised you I'd get back to you, says, sometimes I try to clean out a bin in an area and I end up making more of a mess. Let me share with you and everybody, you guys, that's part of the process. You're mistaking it for being something wrong? No. It's an integral part of the process. Let me slow down the process so you can see what happens and see if this sounds familiar, okay? You have a bin or an area that is full of stuff. You have a bin. You can't organize, you can't decide on stuff in a bin efficiently and easily. Again, easy is going to be one of my words. I'm always making it easy. If you keep the stuff in the bin, it's difficult to see what you have and make a decision in any kind of efficient and easy way. So what you typically will do with a bin is you should dump out that one bin. And then hopefully you have a little bit of an area. You don't need much. You really just need kind of almost like just a 2-foot or 3-foot section just in front of you. And when you dump that stuff out, yes, that is temporarily more of a mess. However, it's part of the process. What you do then is you categorize. Categories, names of, stuff that's in this plastic bin. Ooh, it rhymed. And what you're going to do is you're going to play matchy-matchy. You're going to categorize. Oh, look, here's a bunch of socks. Here's a bunch of pencils. Oh, look, there's paperwork. Oh, that's trash. Your brain batches things, categorizes things to make it more efficient, that it needs to spend less of its precious energy making decisions. Think about it. You have 100 items. You could make 100 decisions, and by that time, you're going to be exhausted. If you have 100 items and there are 4 categories and each one has 25, you're only making 4 decisions. That means you have 6 decision-making energy pellets left over. Okay? So just notice that it looking temporarily worse means you're on your way to looking permanently better. Now, if you leave the stuff there and you're like, I don't know, then you've got to, that's where you're not feeling good. But just say, this is part of the process. It has to look temporarily worse before I look permanently better. Okay? So I hope that helps to know that you're not doing anything wrong. You're just attaching there's a crossed wire between that. Okay? So I just saw that there was a bunch of things. I'm just making sure that I'm not missing any. Okay, there's a lot of people joining, a lot of people sharing. Yeah, if this is helpful to you, please share this TikTok live. I love meeting new people. I love seeing familiar names. I say faces. The only time I see faces is when we do the Zoom call for people on the mailing list. But I love seeing familiar names. But I also see a lot of people joining. Again, my name is Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach. My coaching is called Destination Decluttered here on TikTok. My TikTok lives are uploaded to Destination Decluttered on YouTube. I have a mailing list at destinationdecluttered.com, and I do paid one-on-one coaching. I do a 10-session package. If you're interested in any of that stuff, go to my website. You can find out info. Okay, so, but here when I do my TikTok lives, what I do is I'm really just here to kind of keep you company as you're decluttering, some surface clutter, or also helping you with what you're stuck with. That's really what decluttering, you know what to do. You know what to do. And if you're not doing it, that's where coaching can help you. Why am I stuck? Now, I always go back to the easy metaphor of what would I do if I was in my car? If I was sitting in my car and I knew I wanted to drive to that place, but my car wasn't moving, I would get curious and I would try to figure out why I'm not going forward. I would do all the things I know I could do to get my car started, but I only have a limited information. If after doing all I knew how to do, I'm still not moving forward in that direction, I would call a professional. I would call AAA. I would call my local mechanic and say, can you come over, pop the hood, and let's see what's going on underneath to discover why I'm not moving forward. They have a fresh set of eyes. They've got a professional toolkit. They know what to do. I am that AAA kind of person when it comes to decluttering. Okay? So I'm here to help you with it. Okay. So Cat Mama says, I have a bin, sisters, mugs, glasses, etc. Wanted to pass to younger family, but they stay home longer. Maybe a few years. Okay. Notice that you have stuff that you don't want, that you want to give to somebody else, but the timing may not be right. Label the bin to say stuff for sisters, but also put a date on it because time is going to go by quicker than you think. Okay. Excuse me. Oh, yeah, this is my chapstick that reminds me, of a Bonnie Bell lip smacker that we used to go. This one's bubblegum flavored. Reminds me of going to Woolworths in the 70s. Time slips by. The fact that it is now mid-August, the fact that like you don't realize how quickly time goes by. So put a date on anything you're putting into storage, okay? I love it. Siobhan S is saying taking 15 minutes to declutter before getting ready for work. I love it. I love it because you know what? Doing a little bit every day is something I was just talking about with a client. That is the key, you guys. And it doesn't have to be every day, but showing up and doing a little bit every time. Gee, Schnauzer, we were just talking about it. Doing a little bit every day. Siobhan right up above is saying taking 15 minutes to declutter before getting ready for work. What that means is that you're going to have less cluttering up your place when you come home from work. Now, a little bit every day. Let me be very clear about this. It doesn't mean you need to be regimented, and if you're going to be in trouble if you screw up and you don't have a day. This is one of the reasons why when you're on the mailing list, you have access to this habit tracker. It's very rudimentary. It's very simple. I don't like to fancy things up because I just want you to get it done. This is my own personal habit tracker. And I am tracking some habits that I want to do better at, that I know if I do it a little bit every day, it will have that cumulative effect. Now, mine have to do with my health, eating, drinking, moving my body, eating healthy stuff. And right now, the cool thing is I'm penciling in when I did this stuff yesterday, and then I start again today. But do you see right here? See this whole big thing with all these potholes, as I like to say? That's okay. That's when we were away. We were in Los Angeles. I always want to say Las Vegas. Los Angeles. It was my birthday. We were eating and drinking fun food and whatever. But look, we're back now, and I'm in a routine, and and this is encouraging me. I will share with you guys. Me showing up for these past few days, doing this good stuff, is encouraging me to show up today and lather, rinse, and repeat. So if you want to kind of get back on the declutter habit, if I was decluttering, if I were you, and I was wanting to declutter a little bit every day, I would just put in declutter for 15 minutes. And then every day I would set my timer for 15 minutes, and whatever I got done in that 15 minutes, I'd be like, yes, and I would fill it in. Okay? So if you want one of these, hop on my mailing list, destinationdeclutter.com, and you can get one. So there's that. Rascal Mom says, I declutter in spring and fall. Yeah, noticing the seasons. It's the time of the season. Bump, bump, bump for decluttering. Yeah, notice the time of the season. That it seems like there's to everything turn, 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 as the birds would say too. I'm a musical person, what can I say? I don't sing well, but I sure know some lyrics. There are times when it feels like the right time to declutter. And if spring and fall work for you, then do it. There's going to be times when it feels easier or not. Do it when it feels easy, but also don't wait till it feels easy. If you're waiting for it and you're letting it pile up, I highly recommend, personally and professionally, chunk it down. Do a little bit every day so the piles don't pile up as tall. This is the difference, and I'll share this with you. Good morning, Erin. I will share this with you, is decluttering. There are two big parts to the process, okay? And I want to be very clear about this. There's the first one that we all think of is the kind of, I've got this much clutter, but I want this much clutter, is knocking down the pile of accumulated clutter, the decreasing of the sheer number of items you have in your house. But then the other one is finding homes for those things that you've decided to keep. And notice when I do this, if you're not looking at, I'm just kind of putting, it's a line with a kind of a rolling pattern, is the daily habits, is noticing your habits that have gotten you cluttered and stopping those and replacing those habits with better ones that keep you decluttered. So checking yourself and doing something different so the clutter doesn't pile up again. That's the kind of 1-2 sucker punch of decluttering. Knocking down the stuff. And this is the same thing with weight loss, if you think about it. Oh, we always think, oh, all I need to do is lose the 20 pounds. And then I get there. Nah, that's a difference. Then you need to maintain. And the maintenance is a different process, and it's different than going through the stuff that's accumulated over the decades. Okay, so just notice that. I do love it. Cat Mama says, I told the younger nieces to come shop at Auntie's house when you get an apartment. I love it. Now I don't have kids. I've got nieces and nephew, as I like to say. I feel like Uncle Roger when I say that. But I only have, honestly, I would love for my nieces and nephews, if they truly wanted any of the stuff in my house when I die, or even before, they can have it. I am not going to guilt anybody into anything, with the exception of, and it's not going to be guilt, it's more like I have items in my possession that are not mine. They are family items. They are things that I am the caretaker of temporarily. And these are things that came from generations before me, and they barely take up one plastic tote. Those are things I will hope that my nieces and nephews have a sense of family and continuity that they will want to then bring into their lives after I'm passed. And really, when I get down to it, it's really about some unique photographs and, kind of things like that. But other than that, anything else in my house, they can have. I love this. Rascal's mom says, each time I get something new, I throw something away. Rock on. Rock on. What works for you? Do what works for you. But if you don't know, if what you're doing isn't working for you, again, this is why I'm showing up. This is why I show up in your life, to help you notice what wasn't working. So here's a funny thing, a little quick background about me. I'm Gen X, just turned 58, and I've had a wide and varied career. I started out, I was a art history major in college. I worked retail visual merchandising for decades. Then I got into, I sold antiques and I made t-shirts, and then I got into the corporate world and I managed teams, and I encouraged people all along. And then my last kind of corporate job, which totally played to some of my strengths, was a process engineer. And I love looking at what I'm doing and noticing where I get stuck and creating a better process. Okay? I love it. Little Black Dog says, you're my big sister. Happy to have you. Happy to have you here. And trust me, I am a big sister, and I wish. See, here's the thing. You can't teach somebody else something they don't want to be taught. You have to be ready to learn this stuff. So I love it that Barbie B is saying, nothing works so far, which is why I am here, first steps. Okay, love it. The fact that you want to learn this makes all the difference. I'm an older sister, but both of my sisters struggle with clutter, but they are on their own journey. When they are ready to change, I am here to help them. But you have to be ready to want to do something different. I love the fact that Barbie B says nothing works so far. Notice the difference in putting the so far in there. Okay? And I tell you my quick 2-second history to say I have strengths in a lot of areas that help with the decluttering process. Also, I grew up in a cluttered home, and I've been a collector pretty much all my life. So I've been in it, but I've also gotten out of it. Okay? Yes, when the student is ready, the master appears. Right, Grasshopper? Does that make me that old bald guy, the guy with the hair in Kung Fu? Remember Kung Fu? Now I feel like I'm David Bowie on the cover of the Changes album. So let me help you with this. Barbie B, if you're new here, first of all, my name is Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach. And what I want you to do is, one of the words you're going to hear a lot from me is just noticing. Noticing and getting curious. Okay? Notice what your clutter is. Don't judge it. Noticing is different than judging. Noticing is observing without kind of commentary. Okay, I've got a closet packed full of clothes. Okay, I have a closet packed full of clothes. What you're going to notice is that those words are inevitably going to make you feel something. I either feel great about it, or I don't feel so good, or I feel neutral. If you're not feeling good about what you have, then let's go through and we chunk it down. Also, I want to say the way I coach about decluttering is I think of you as a whole human being. It's not, here, put your stuff in clear plastic things that I'm going to sell you and get a spiff on and screw the rest of the world. No, it's all of you. All of me. Why not take all of me? Is your energy level, your age, your family situation, excuse me. Your nervous system, your energy, your body, your physical ability, where you are in the stage of life. We look at you as a whole person, and we create a solution that works with you, how your brain is wired. I work with a lot of ADHD people. So how your brain is wired is looking at yourself as a whole that's made up of a whole bunch of little things and not judging any of it negatively, because that just stops you in your tracks. But getting curious about why things are the way they are, and then saying, what can I change? And I can help you with that. So this is how I roll. I just wanted to give you that intro. So one of the things I want to clue you into, everybody, because this is coming up on a comment I see that I want to say, is when I coach, I talk about 3 layers of clutter. So today, after this call, or even right now, you could look around your house and identify, kind of I spy with my little eye, one of each things that's the 3 layers of clutter. You've got surface clutter, as I said earlier. That's part of like the churn of every day, the cycles of everyday living. It's on the surface. Then you've got stored clutter. Stored clutter is your stuff that lives behind doors and in drawers. And that's the stuff that usually needs decision making if you feel like you have too much and it's stored away. Now the stuff that you have that's so surface, stored, and the third S is sentimental. Every time I say sentimental, I put my hand on my heart, because your sentimental items are the things that tell you stories that make you feel feelings. Now, the cool thing is your stories, you can change your stories. You can rewrite them into stories that serve you better. So, for example, user 42714 says, what do you do about furniture you keep for sentimental reasons? Yeah, you have furniture, but you're not digging it because it's a chair. You don't have it because it's a chair or a bureau or a break front or a chifforobe or whatever you want to call it. You are keeping it because there is a story. When you look at that piece of furniture, a story is triggered in your head. So the cool thing is, anytime anybody asks me about something, I know that this is what I would say. This is something that is something you want to do something with, but you're afraid to. The stuff you love, you're not going to say, what can I do about this thing that I love? No, you keep the stuff you love. So what I want to empower you with is, there is a piece of furniture. When you look at it, it tells you a story. If you don't like the furniture or you don't like the story, you can do something about it. You can change the story and love the furniture, or you can keep the good story and remove the furniture from your life and still have the story, the feeling in your heart. You can take a picture of it and say, that was the picture of Grammy's bureau, and she used to keep her granny panties in it. I don't know what it is. I'm totally making shit up. You can save the story without keeping the item. Tomorrow I am helping a friend. I will share this with you. I am helping a friend tomorrow remove items from his home that were his wife's. His wife was a dear friend of mine. She passed away 6 months ago. He is doing something different with the house, and I am helping him with this. I know it's not easy. Notice where my hand is going at all times. Sentimental things cause you to feel a feeling, and that's okay. You can also know out in the real world, I can't hang on to all of this stuff because I want to rent the house. So I can keep the stories. I can take pictures of the items. I can remind myself that I can have not a stitch of things that somebody owned once, but that person lives on in my heart, the good feeling that I have. Okay? So notice the sentimental stuff is the stuff that is going to be the most delicate to move through. And it's powerful, but you got to be gentle with yourself. Okay? Thank you for Erin for saying sign up for a coaching consultation. I just saw that. Thank you. What I want to say is, that's why we start with the surface clutter, and then we go to stored, and then we deal with sentimental, because as you do this, it's like working out with weights. You start with the 2 pounds, then you go to the 5 pounds, and then you go to the 10 pounds. Because you will build up your decluttering muscle, your decision-making muscle, deciding what you want and why, what you have in your house and why it's there, the why you're keeping it, and the why of keeping it feels good to you. Okay? Alrighty. Oh, very cool. Little Black Dog just said, got a boogie, but you are my favorite content creator. Thank you. I create content. Yeah, Danzel. Yeah, my cat passed away a week ago, and I still have his little toy scratcher in bed in my sunroom. Of course you do, dear. Of course you do. Because it reminds you of your kitty. When our dog passed, we had his stuff for a while. God, I can smell those stinky blankets right now. Talk about memories. But at a certain point, it will feel easier for you to release that scratching post. Unless you decide to get another cat and you keep it, But notice that you should move at a time frame that feels right to you. Okay? Yeah, there we go. And look at what you did. See, this thing I have, it makes me sad. I have my cat. I think I'm going to give it to my neighbor's niece who has a kitten and they don't have a lot. Yes. Notice these things that you have that can benefit somebody else. Okay? That can benefit somebody else. Your abundance. Here, let me back this up too. Notice I was saying, and I guess I said don't look at the screen, but you could look at the screen now. For those of you not looking at the screen, I've got one hand above my head. I've got one hand near my heart. Okay? What I want to offer is that I'm moving my hand from below up to kind of where my neck is. Decluttering is your abundance, is your too much. I have too much. And the reason I'm putting my hands here is because notice the feeling of having too much is feeling suffocated. I can't breathe, overwhelmed. I'm in over my head. Okay? That is when you have too much. When you remove your too much, you don't go immediately actually down here to your belly of not having enough. Like, I'm hungry, I have nothing. No, it's not from too much to nothing. As you do this, what you're doing is you are layer by layer, you are getting closer to what your just right point is. The amount of things in your home that feels right to you, the quantity and quality that feels right. Think about Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Too hot, too cold, just right. Too soft, too hard, just right. So notice, clutter is this stuff up here. Clutter is not your just right and below. You know you've hit your just right point and below when you think, if I remove that, it's just going to feel not good. Like, I know there's a lot of stuff in my house right now, I will share, that ostensibly I could easily get rid of if I had a reason to. I was just looking at some of my stuff and I was like, yeah, if I needed to, I could get rid of it. But right now, if I got rid of it, I would have empty shelves. I would have empty bookcases. And I don't want my house to look empty, so I keep my stuff. But if situations change and I'm moving, I will totally reconsider what I have, and I will probably bring fewer items with me moving forward. But right now, I feel like I'm at a good place. Now, I bring up the abundance, the Goldilocks and the Three Bears thing, because notice, anything that you have an abundance of, you don't want. It's not making you feel good. So when you remove it, there's somebody else out there who could benefit from it. Okay? So I just noticed that you can help somebody else with the stuff. User 616440 says, you really are the best at what you do. Well, thank you. I enjoy what I do. I know what it's like to be like looking around and being like, oh my God, I have no idea what to do with all this stuff. I'm overwhelmed. You know what I'll do? I'll just shut the door on that room. The basement. Oh my God, our basement was comical. How much shit was in the basement. And this was within 2 or 3 years of us moving into the house, because my husband and I had this habit of acquiring things. Okay? Good morning, folks. I see some friendly names. Bouncing Belching Beauty says, are there organizations that you recommend for donations? Here's what I recommend. So I live in Pennsylvania. I live outside of Philly. And I know in my one town, the places I like to donate. I coach people, however, and as I say this, I look to my calendar here, my map of the United States, and I see little smiley faces in all sorts of states. I know the resources that are in my town and my state are different from yours. But what I will say is this. So Google is your friend right now. And I will say two things. Look for a place that's easy for you to donate, that doesn't overly complicate it. And also look for things that make a place to donate that make you feel good to donate them to. I know a lot of people have issues with Goodwill because of the way that their business is structured. If it doesn't make you feel good to donate to Goodwill, then don't donate to Goodwill. But I will say this, if Goodwill is the only game in town, I say donate to them and just enjoy the don't use yourself as a storage space for crap until you find a good place. Find ways to donate things and to remove things. Patricia's saying Green Drop has Purple Heart, Red Cross, and they come and pick it up at your house. Okay, so I love the three colors: Green Drop, Purple Heart, Red Cross. So look in your own community. Look with fresh eyes around. Where could I donate things? Listen for opportunities that somebody says, oh man, I wish I had a rice cooker. You need a rice cooker? I get a rice cooker. Notice what is around you. I have a client that lives in rural Alabama. And so when she and I work together, she's a one-on-one client. She and I have a different strategy for when she is going to move things from her home that she's decided that she doesn't want. When those things get moved from her home to the donation place is at a different schedule than me, who, like, my husband just put a bunch of clothing in a bag for donations, and I can literally walk across 2 streets from me and donate those clothes if I choose to at the hospital thrift store. So finding a place to donate your things that's easy and makes you feel good. You know, Erica is saying buy nothing groups on Facebook. You know, there are many resources. Women's shelters or missions that help the homeless. Yeah, take a look around. Just look around. You're going to find places to do that. Okay? There we go. This sounds like fun. German Maid is saying, I went to get coffee with a friend. Awesome. I drink tree, but I get you. She showed me 2 places to donate. Now we meet once a month for coffee and donations. What a freaking cool idea. See, this is what I love about me showing up and doing this TikTok live. This is not all about me showing off and saying, buy my product, buy my product. I mean, seriously, if you want me to be your coach, I totally can be your coach. Just sign up for a consultation. We'll have convo, you pay the money, yada, yada. I would love for that to happen. But the thing that delights me and the thing that gets me coming back and doing this is this collaboration, is this hive mind of this, I've got an idea that I'm going to share. TEDx, an idea, or a TED, ideas worth spreading. I have my ideas, I share them with you. You have your ideas, you share them with me. And then you inspire me that I would never thought of that. Even me recording my TikTok lives so you can listen to them later on YouTube was not my idea. It was somebody over a year ago who said, do you ever record these? And I was like, no, I don't actually. I'm okay with being not wrong, but like, oh, that didn't occur to me. I'm open to suggestions. And it seemed like a good idea. It might help them. Sure, I'll do it. Now I have people say that when I'm not doing TikTok lives or when they're decluttering, they pop on one of my recordings and they just listen to them. Do I charge for those? No. I charge for other stuff. But notice this wonderful community that pops up every time I do a TikTok live. We don't know each other much. I recognize some names. I have kind of learned certain people are in certain states. Sometimes my clients will pop up and I definitely know them. But we're all here helping each other. We are all here. We have our strengths. We have our weaknesses. We have our places, things we're good at, and then we have the things we're not so good at. I can't do a cartwheel, you know? But man, I can help you declutter. And I want you to think of this. I want you to do it because you want to. I want you to do it because you are looking for, and this is why I call my coaching Destination Decluttered. Destination. I am doing my decluttering, not because I have to. I should and I have to. Those words to me, I really get curious about those. How can I turn my should into a I want to? I get to. I get to. All y'all, all of us, we get to declutter. We are lucky enough to declutter because we have too much. It's not like we don't have enough. We have enough, and then plus another guy. We have more than enough. We have too much, and that doesn't feel good like we thought it would. It feels overwhelming and suffocating and daunting and too much and overwhelm and ugh. All right, I get that. Shh, let's quiet it down. Let's settle it down. Let's cut down. Let's chalk down until it feels better. And every time, think of it, as long as you get your nose up, you can breathe, you feel better. And then a couple of laters, and then you're breathing with your nose and your mouth. And then the stuff gets lower and lower. And then suddenly your heart can expand because you're breathing through your nose and your mouth. And it feels so good. You can breathe. It is quiet. You have space. You have space to do the stuff you want. You have space to just keep things clean so you're not decluttering all the time. And even right now, when I talk about this, there's space in your head. There's a nice, lovely quiet in your head. Because the shoulds and the backseat drivers and they should and you have to and this and that, shh. We have quieted down those chatty Cathys in the back seat. And it just feels good. We have decluttered your brain. When you look around and you're like, yeah, looks good, looks good, looks good. Like I just look there, I'm like, oh, that's right, I should probably get that thing reframed. Okay, I will. You know? And it's going to feel so good when I do it. But it's not the constant should and yelling and obligation of when I have too much clutter. Now, I will share this with you. We all want that magic bullet. We all want that quick fix. Do I want to lose 20 pounds and be, abs of steel sooner rather than later? Yeah. However, it just doesn't work that way. But just because it is not an immediate thing doesn't mean it's not a journey, a road trip worth starting on, because you will get there. It's math. You can't not get there if you start walking in that direction or driving in that direction. Okay? This is why I use that road trip metaphor for freaking everything in my life. The only time you never get to where you want to go to is when you just don't even, you can guarantee you're not going to get there by not starting driving that way at all. If I want to drive from Pennsylvania to Palm Springs, I know I'm not going to get there if I never start driving. But if I start driving in that direction, I'm going to be closer than I ever have been. And here's the difference too. This is not taking the highway, the speeding, and doing it, and that kind of all or nothing, and going to spend 10 hours, and this weekend I'm going to do it, and then it's done. No, there's a different way of going about decluttering and living, which is a little bit every day, which is showing up and enjoying the ride. I love it. I'm laughing because Silver Fox just says, I love that your missives are all like t-shirt slogans. I used to design t-shirts. My husband is in a band. Can I come up with a catchy catchphrase? Boy, howdy. I say these things because they're easy to remember. I want you to treat your life like a road trip and not a commute. If that's not a little catchphrase, I don't know what is. What's a road trip and how is it different from a commute? I will tell you two key differences in my mind. One is you want to go on a road trip. You want to get to that destination. A road trip implies there is an end point. There's a boundary. I'm going to go from here to there. From Chicago to LA, Route 66. From Fort Kent, Maine to the Florida Keys, Route 1. I used to write about road trips, people, so I know a lot about them. From point A to point Z. But it's not just about being there and doing anything you can to get there. No, it's about enjoying the drive. It's about cruising along at a speed that feels good to you. It's about going at a pace that you can look and enjoy as the time is passing and look. And then also saying, I'm going to pull over here and enjoy the scenic view. Oh, you know what? I'm feeling kind of tired. I'm going to pull over and take a rest at this rest stop. I'm going to pull over for the day and sleep in this cute little motel. I'm going to enjoy the journey. Because when I enjoy the journey, it makes it easier for me to get started the next morning. To me, that's a road trip. My life is a road trip, and I freaking love it. A commute. A commute is going somewhere you have to go to. I have to go to work. I have to go there. I have to. I maybe don't want to. Maybe you want to, but I have to. And you probably spend as little time as possible because all you want to do is get there, and you probably don't enjoy the drive going there because you don't enjoy your destination. Commuting feels different. You don't make stops. I just got to get there. I'm going to postpone starting, and then I'm just going to do it until I get there, and it's not going to be pleasant, and then I'm going to be there. But notice the difference. You enjoying yourself every day means you already have the energy of being decluttered because you're seeing your incremental progress and you're feeling good. Habit tracking, people. I'm feeling good about these few days that I've done my habits. That encourages me to do the next day, and also I am enjoying the current moment because that's really all we have. Okay? So I say this to you as a life coach, but especially in the decluttering, is you can get started today. 5 minutes of decluttering some surfaces, you know? Now, I love this because enjoying the journey is what it's all about. User 616440 says, commuting to work now on a ferry to New York City and enjoying the sights and sunshine as I listen to you. I freaking love that. And you know what that makes me think of? Is that, it's so funny. I'll share this total Gen X mashup in my head. I was thinking of that scene from Working Girl with Melanie Griffith, and it's that song by Carly Simon, the theme song, when she's going from Staten Island or whatever, and she's getting her job. What a cute movie. But I will say this, because I've heard it recently on TikTok, because I'm Gen Xer, instead of the Carly Simon song that I don't know as well, that theme from Angie, let the time go, let the love grow, let the rain shower, let the rose flower. Yes. Let the river run. Yeah, let the river flow. Notice how there was a mashup in my head, but the same thing, enjoying the commute. Even today when you're driving to work, if you're driving to work, how can you enjoy the day? Okay? How can you enjoy the time you have? I want you to enjoy your decluttering as well. If you look at it as a task you need to get through, and it's grim and it's not fun, and you're doing it, you don't even know why you're doing it, it's not going to feel good. And I don't want you to not feel good. I want you to have fun and get it done. That's another catchphrase I've been working on. Have fun and get it done. Because it feels so good when you're there. I am pretty much at my there right now, and I'm just maintaining. I am happy with where I am. Incrementally, things could get better. That would be awesome. But as far as clutter goes, I will tell you, I kind of don't know what to do with all the free time I have because I'm so used to thinking, oh, it's the weekend, we got to clean out this. Oh, it's the weekend, we got to clean out this. Oh, it's the weekend, we got to clean out this. We gotta. Now our basement, yeah, my husband and I are going to go down there later this week because this is now the season of it. He just released a CD, some gigs are winding down, and he's got some stuff to deal with. I've got my own stuff to deal with. But it is so wonderful to not have to declutter all the time. It is so wonderful to have free time that I get to spend doing stuff that I want to do. And it just feels good. And because I feel good, I am showing up for you. If I wasn't feeling good, I would be on the other side of TikTok. I'd be slipping around. I'd be making excuses. I'd be in bed. Right now, it's already not even 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm feeling good. I feel good. Knew that I would now. And maybe I've inspired you, kind of filled up your gas tank with a good octane gas. Now I love this. Couch and Cork says, you showed up on my FYP. Cool. And this is fantastic. Thank you. I'm almost there and this is motivating. Okay. Now sometimes when you're almost there, just like on a road trip, you just need that little bit of energy and you know how to get there. You know how to get from, like on my Route 66 road trip, Chicago to LA, I am telling you, by the time I was in Arizona, I was like, oh my God, are we there yet? I just want to be done. Same thing with decluttering. If you're almost there and you're not there yet, you may be able to get yourself from Arizona to, Santa Monica. Is it Santa? Yeah, it is Santa Monica. Or you could be stuck. You could be stuck because you don't know what to do at a certain point. Okay? It depends. If you're stuck, if you know what to do and you're not doing it, that's also a form of being stuck. Why are you not doing the things you know up here you should do and have to do and want to do to get yourself to the finish line? To the, yeah, I'm good, I'm done, and I'm feeling good about it. What I want to offer is this. The way we make decisions is with our heads and our hearts. Until your head and your heart are both kind of green light, and I like to use like the traffic signal of green light, yellow light, red light, green light, red light. Ever play that game when you were a kid? Green light. Or, where was I? I just started thinking about, hey, witchy, are you coming out tonight? But I digress. I digress. What I want to offer is your head and your heart and your hands are all connected. Head, heart, hands. Again, alliteration. You could put it on a t-shirt. This is how I talk. I talk in t-shirts. When your head says something, I know I need to do that. Yep, I need to do that. I need to do that. Yep, Your head can nod, but if your heart's not in it, you're not doing it. This is the gatekeeper, people. Your heart, your nervous system. If your heart isn't in it, we have that phrase. If my heart isn't in it, I'm kind of showing up half-assed. If my heart isn't in it. Or what's the other one that I think of all the time with that? I don't feel like doing it. I know I should do it in my head, but I don't feel like doing it. Until these two things are on green light, the hands aren't moving. They aren't. Your hands can only move in the best way when this is a green light and this is a green light. So if your hands are not moving, if you're not doing the action happens at the end of these hands. The typing, the moving, okay? But these things only move when the head and the heart are on board. So if you're not doing the stuff you know you should do, check in here. Check in with your nervous system, your human body that breathes, your storytelling up here that makes you feel a feeling. You have a story that you tell yourself why you are not there yet. Yeah, it's the stuff behind the stuff. And this is so funny because I heard true, got to deal with the stuff, the head and the heart behind the stuff behind the stuff, the clutter. And I was like, yes. And then I realized it was you, Erin. And I'm like, of course, because you learned it from me. And we're sharing, we're preaching because it works. Erin is a client of mine and we worked together and she shows up and her life is different now in a good way because of the time we hung together. You know? Okay. Seller 268 is saying, I've done so much and don't feel or see the progress and it's feeling frustrating. Everybody, I'm always looking for my phone when I want to look for my camera, and I realize I'm talking into my phone right now. Okay, pretend this is my phone. Okay, when a super satisfied client, I love it. Okay, so notice this. If you don't see progress, do this. Take a picture before you declutter. Take a picture. Pretend this is, camera. Taking a picture of this little area and then work on that area. Okay, this is strategy. Then Seller 268 and anybody else. You've decluttered for 20 minutes. Take another picture. You will see your progress. Take a picture of the bags that you gave to the donation place. Take a picture. It'll last longer. Take a picture, it'll last longer. I know you are, but what am I? Take a picture. Because your brain, it can kind of, it's used to looking for the negative. It's used to talking to yourself. If you're used to talking to yourself negative and not seeing the good, you're going to look for the not good and you're going to find the not good. Yeah, there we go. And even me mentioning that to you is saying couch and core. Excuse me, I got a cough. The progress pictures every few minutes is what I might need to round the last bend. Yeah, maybe that's all I need. Taking a picture of what, and that's what we do. Take a snapshot. That's how it looks now. We used to do this in visual merchandising all the time because you will see things in a picture that your brain does not compute when you're just looking at all of it. Okay? And take a picture and then say, what do I want to change in that picture? What we're also doing is we're chunking it down to a little smidge and saying, I'm going to make a change there, and then I'm going to take a picture, and I made a change there, and then you have evidence. You have evidence of your progress, and you can't feel as frustrated when you see that. What you'll do is say, okay, if that worked there, I'm going to copy and paste that. I'm going to go to this next section. I'm going to take a picture. It'll last longer. I will lather, rinse, repeat. I like a process that is copy and pastable, that you can use here and here and here and here. It's the same thing over and over again. Okay? Yeah, think about it. Snapshots along the journey. Then what you do is you're going to have a story to tell. When you get to the end, you say, how did I get here? I have evidence. This is what I did. Another way you can do it, and this is what I recommend with my clients, maybe I should get more on the picture taking. I got to get, but writing down the stuff you did. This is a book. I have 2 of them filled with all the good stuff I did to get me to where I am today. Remember the good stuff. Encourage the good. You're going to find the good. And much like and notice this stuff, a lot of it is tracking. A lot of it is remembering. Remembering to do the things to get you where you want to go. Daily habits. And it just reminds your brain is wired to look for the negative. Your brain is looking for danger and to solve problems because it's a human brain that thinks it's going to get eaten by a bear at some point, or a saber-toothed tiger from back in the Stone Age, or maybe a Tyrannosaurus Rex. It is looking to keep us safe. Our brain is looking to protect us from pain and harm. When you know that, and it's piping up, that may be painful, that might be harmful, that could make me feel bad. You can then have a conversation with it. Yeah, it may be temporarily not so great, but man, I'm doing this thing temporarily so I feel better in the future. It's like working out. I worked out on Saturday, didn't want to go, showed up, achy on the next day, but felt good, showed up again on Monday. A little bit every day. Have a great day, Erin. Yeah, I'm here for like another 3 minutes. Notice these things that you can do to help change what you don't like about your home, the clutter-wise in your home. When you learn this clutter-wise, you will also see how this repeatable process can be copy and pasted into other areas of your life. That's why I'm not just a decluttering coach, I'm a decluttering life coach, because you will see the patterns. Your brain is a pattern matching machine. It looks for things that are relatable. Oh, that's just like this. Oh, that's just like a road trip. Oh, that's just like that. Because you can use this tool elsewhere. It's the, pocket fisherman, or it's the slices and dices and julienne fries thing. You can use the same method, the same approach of decluttering your home in other areas of your life. But if that sounds too abstract and overwhelming, cool. Let's save that for a rainy day. Let's work right now on the clutter in one room of your house, on one surface of your house. Now, I'm going to be signing off in like a minute, but some of you started to declutter when I started up. In these last couple minutes, if you actually have something you accomplished, like Abbott Elementary said, I have an 8 o'clock pickup. Somebody's going to pick up some stuff that I'm donating. I bet she got her stuff down to the curb. Notice that you have time that you can use to change your home and your life. And when you have control over your time and you want to use it for good, you can change your life and you can change the world. Now, I know I'm talking in these big kind of abstract type ethereal things, but I only have a minute left, so I want to leave you with some good stuff. And I want to leave you with the power, the notion that if there's something going on in your life that you don't want, you don't like, you can change it. You can. Let's start with the clutter. It's an easy, fun way to learn how to do this, okay? Now, I will recap with this. I'm signing off in a moment. My name is Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach. Destination Decluttered is me here on TikTok. Like my page if you haven't heard me before, so I come up on your FYP. I do TikTok lives every day. The people who know when I'm going to show up are the people on my mailing list. DestinationDecluttered.com. Sign up for the mailing list. You find out when I am. Also, I do paid one-on-one coaching. I have a 10-session program that I do. If that sounds of interest to you, go to my website, sign up for a consultation. As Erin said, it's free. Can't hurt, might help, as I like to say. I love it. Seller268 said, declutter along with YouTube's. Sancho Panza celebrating that I just took apart the dog crate that has been in the living room. Yes, All right, you guys, I'm signing off. I'll see you tomorrow.